Okay, guys, there's a bunch of stuff to go over today. The Endeavor system is getting an update, there's a new lockbox ship, and the next giveaway went live today, so let's get into it. We always start with the ship. So, Star Trek Online has officially announced the Promellian Battlecruiser, which, I mean, we kind of all saw coming after Counselor Suna's preview post that was posted last week. So yeah, Promellian Battlecruiser coming to the Infinity lockboxes on June 3rd on PC. Console, you guys will be getting this on a later date. The Promellian Battlecruiser is going to be a command ship, so that's kind of interesting. So let's get a look at the stats. It's going to have a hull modifier of 1.35 and shield modifier of 1.15, so fairly tanky for a battlecruiser. Not insanely tanky compared to other cruisers, but not bad. It's got a 5-3 weapons layout, which is exactly what you want to see. A 3 device slots, which is very typical for a battlecruiser. The bridge officer seating is a commander engineer / command, lieutenant commander tactical / intel, lieutenant commander universal, lieutenant level engineering, and ensign level universal. So not bad bridge officer seating, really. Command and intel always pair really nicely together because they both do a really good job of overcoming the shortcomings of each other. Command is really good at providing some good team-wide buffs and is also really good for torpedo builds, while intel is really good for energy weapon builds, as well as providing some really good buffs to yourself. So they're really good. They really do a good job of complementing each other in terms of what the other one lacks. And you're also getting a good amount of universal seating. So normally I would complain about the specialization seat being on the tactical seat, but you got a whole other universal lieutenant commander seat right there too. So that really doesn't matter. So this is going to be a solid layout. 3 tactical consoles, 5 engineering consoles, and 3 science consoles. Base turn rate of 8.75, an impulse modifier of 0.13. Ooh, slow ship. And an inertial rating of 45. So it's not going to be, it's going to feel pretty slow, kind of chunky. But I mean, with that seating, it's not necessarily a bad thing. You're going to be kind of reliant on emergency powered engines, the emergency con hologram, and evasive maneuvers, which is fine because you got that lieutenant engineering seat, so you can use that emergency powered engines, and then you can use emergency powered weapons as well, and you can throw in ship of the line to get those extra crit severity buffs as well from that. It can equip dual cannons. It'll have the inspiration ship mechanic because it is a full command ship. It will have 3 of the cruiser command arrays. It will have the strategic maneuvering, shield frequency modulation, and weapon system efficiency, which is typical of a battlecruiser. We'll go over the console in a bit. And it will have the battlecruiser mastery package, which gives buffs to physical and kinetic damage resistance, crit severity, energy damage resistance, and maximum hull HP. Here's the Admiralty stats for those that care. Engineering is 57, science is 28, tactical is 41, and the special is plus 22 engineering and tactical when alone. The console is called Gamma Burst. The Promellians prided themselves on the toughness of their ships, and this console represents the first of its kind to taunt targets directly onto you and then blast out a deadly gamma burst of radiation. Fortunately, we got some tooltip information with this one. Taunts your target and 9 nearby foes within 5-kilometer radius for 10 seconds. After 10 seconds, you get a big PBAOE gamma radiation burst in 5-kilometer sphere. And to yourself, you will gain plus 20% hull regeneration and plus 1200 all damage resistance rating for 20 seconds. So this is going to be a pretty decent tanking console. That's the vibe I'm getting here. It'll have a little bit of extra damage as well with the radiation. It's tough to say how much radiation damage that's going to be getting here, but the real value here is going to be that hull regen and the damage resistance rating here, and the taunt as well. So this is going to be really nice for tank builds that really want to keep attention on them, but also stay alive with that hull regen and the damage resistance rating. Honestly, we've been getting a few consoles like this too. Like first we got the console off the Princeton, which deals radiation to yourself, but also to your enemies, but also gives big buffs to damage resistance. And then we also got the console off the Obina, which also deals radiation damage, but increases your tanking abilities as well. It kind of makes me want to throw this on in tandem with those two as well, just for the sake of a radiation tank build. You can call it the Hulk build because gamma radiation. So yeah, decent console if you like tank builds, and it's going to pair really well with other tanking consoles and other abilities for keeping yourself alive. So if you're interested in that sort of play, this is a decent pickup. The starship trait is called gravitic inversion. With their expertise in gravity, the Promellians managed to create a device which generated gravitic inversions at 3 points around the ship. This trait is triggered by the use of foe targeting bridge officer engineering or command abilities. Oof, honestly, that I don't really like that much because engineering abilities, especially ones that target specific enemies, really aren't that great. You're basically just limiting yourself to some of the damage resistance debuff abilities like Let It Go or Oh, what's the kinetic damage resistance one? Actually, here, let's just go down the list of what that would work with. Endothermic inhibitor beam, let it go. Malicious AI, structural integrity collapse. That's the one I was thinking of. Boarding party, but no one in their right mind uses boarding party. And aceton beam, which also isn't very good. What's the downside with these abilities is that, they're not very powerful. Like endothermic inhibitor beam is a little bit of radiation damage, but not nearly enough to make it worth it. And the shield resist debuff. The shields are so easy to break down anyway. It doesn't really matter. Let it go is probably the best option because it's an all damage resistance debuff, and also getting a little bit of cold damage over time. Malicious AI was a huge disappointment. I was really hoping that would do more radiation damage, but it doesn't. Structural integrity collapse is good if you're using a torp build because that one just gives physical and kinetic damage resistance debuff. But yeah, those are the only ones that I would really consider. But again, all of them are so overwhelming. I would much rather just use a pair of emergency power abilities along with ship of the line, especially because you're only getting a lieutenant level engineering seat on the ship. But it also works off command abilities, so you could also use concentrate firepower. That technically works as targeting a foe. Overwhelm emitters, which that's just a simple shield drain, really not that great. Call emergency artillery, which is slow, and because it's kinetic damage, you really only want to use that on a torpedo build, so you're already buffing kinetic build. But I mean, that is a fun ability just for the sake of shenanigans. You're literally throwing Defiant class ships at an enemy. I've always liked this ability. I just wish it was more powerful on certain build types. But yeah, that kind of limits. Those are kind of the only three options you're going to be using in that situation. Like suppression barrage is always a good option to use for command ships if you're using an energy weapon build, but that doesn't target an enemy, so this won't be triggering that starship trait. So we've gone over what triggers it. Let's see what it does. When using any of those abilities that we just talked about, creates 3 gravitic inversions at equidistant points around your ship for 15 seconds. These will draw up to 5 enemies into the epicenter of each inversion. They will deal radiation damage, who knows how much radiation damage, and will give an 80% reduction to turn rate and flight speed to anything caught within them. I assume. It would be weird if they did that to your own flight speed and turn rate, especially considering the ship's turn rate and flight speed are already not great. And then it'll have a cooldown of 45 seconds, which is kind of rough, but not insanely bad considering some of the other stuff, some other starship traits that are out there. I don't know. It sounds like it's an okay hold ability, but it's not something I would probably be super reliant on, dependent on how much that radiation damage does. Again, this is going to be something that'll probably have to be tested to figure out how well it does, but I don't see this doing all that amazing for what it does. I doubt people are going to be clamoring to grab this ability. So overall, the ship itself, I'm fairly impressed with. I really like the seating on it. It seems like a decent ship. It's a bit slow, but at the same time, battleships have never really been super zippy fast ships, so not that really big of a deal. So yeah, solid layout there. If you like, if you like battle cruisers, whether they be torpedo builds or energy weapon builds, you're probably gonna be happy with this thing if you're into the look of the Promellian Battlecruiser. The starship trait definitely going to be good for a tank build, I would say. All that hull regen and damage resistance rating, plus all the threat or all the taunts you're going to be throwing out all at once. Pretty solid for a tank build. So I would say that would be a really nice thing if you're running tank builds, especially for for a high-end group. You definitely want to be using taunts to keep enemies from targeting your fellow teammates that are doing all the DPS. You're gonna be that way you're gonna be able to draw them to shooting you instead, and then tanking the crap out of all their damage. The starship trait I'm a bit wary about. I don't want to say definitely it's gonna be kind of meh, but just based off what we're reading, based on what triggers it, I'm not super impressed with it so far. So yeah, the starship trait's kind of meh, but everything else I'm fairly pleased with. So if you're into the Promellian Battlecruiser, if this is a ship that you really like the look of, don't be afraid to go out and get it, assuming that you have the means to obtain an Infinity Lockbox ship currently. Though keep in mind, of course, if you do like the ship but don't have the means to get an Infinity Lockbox ship, there's always next year's event campaign. And just to reiterate, this ship will be going live tomorrow on June 3rd on PC in the Infinity Lockboxes. Which the fact that this is going live tomorrow makes me think that could be when the next story update goes live too, because those generally, Infinity Lockboxes usually coincide with general game updates anyway, and we haven't been given an official release date for the next story update, or even like what it's going to entail. But Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's just the date that the next story update comes out too. And oh, apparently there was a console release date, July 29th. I didn't even see that. That's my bad. So yeah, console, you guys will be getting this at the end of July, but PC players, we're getting this tomorrow. The next thing to go over is the Endeavor system is getting an update, which it's been a while since the Endeavor system has gotten any sort of update. So this is kind of nice to see. This is going to be going live with the June PC release date, which right now I am assuming is just going to be tomorrow. I can't say that for sure, given that we don't know yet. But you know, there's been no official announcement on when the next update is going to be. But given when the lockbox ship is going to be coming out, I'm assuming it's going to be tomorrow. But again, don't take that as written in stone. I'm just a guy with a YouTube channel. I do not work for Deca or anyone associated with that. So the blog starts out with a little summary of how Endeavor points work and how Endeavor XP works. I'm going to assume you already know how to do that, but feel free to read through the actual blog yourself if you don't. But yeah, the what's being added right now is just a bunch of different skills. These are going to be new skills to the Endeavor system. So unlike in the past where they've just increase the level of the existing skills for the Endeavor system, this time they are adding completely new skills to be buffed in the Endeavor system, which I am very happy to see. I mean, I said in the past that this is the kind of thing I would love to see them do, because with like I said, in the past all they've done is just increase the size of the buffs of the existing skills in the Endeavor system, and that's not a sustainable way to keep doing it, because those buffs were just getting so crazy high just through the Endeavor system already that if they were going to do any kind of update to the Endeavor system again, this would have been the route to go with, adding new skills instead of just increasing the old ones. And I'm glad to see that that's what they've done. So let's go over what skills that they are adding this time. So we're going to be getting buffs to armor penetration on both space and ground. So that will increase the armor penetration of your weapons. They're also adding skills that will reduce the recharge time of your captain's abilities for both space and ground. Reduce the recharge abilities of your command bridge officer abilities in space, engineering bridge officers in space, intelligence bridge officers in space, miracle worker in space. That's a typo. This one says pilot bridge officer abilities, but it says miracle. There's a couple typos in this, but yeah, miracle worker bridge officers abilities in space, science, and then skip down a little bit, tactical and temporal. So yeah, basically all your types of bridge officer abilities, you're going to be able to lower them down by a little bit. It's 0.40 percent for each point, maxing out at 10% total reduction for each specialization or non-specialization of your bridge officers. So that's kind of neat. That I could definitely see that being very valuable for, especially once you get that fully leveled up. Actually, before I get into the commentary, let's finish off the other skills. Getting skills for shield regeneration on space and ground, already the temporal and tactical bridge officer abilities. Weapon damage for alpha, beta, and gamma. So alpha is going to cover plasma, phaser, proton, psionic, and cold damage. That's going to be on ground and space. Beta is going to cover disruptor, polaron, physical, radiation, and fire damage on ground and space. And gamma is going to cover, this one's a typo too, they just copy pasted alpha, but in the space one it says anti-proton, tetryon, kinetic, electrical, and toxic damage in ground and space. So those are the skills that they are going to be adding to the Endeavor system, and I'm really happy to see some of these, like the reduction to cooldowns. I think is going to be really interesting. Only 10%. It's not a huge amount, so I don't know how much of a difference this is going to make in the overall scheme of things, but it could allow you to alleviate some of the things that you're already using on your build, so you don't have to like be as reliant on existing cooldown methods as you will. But I don't think this is going to end up like replacing Boimler effect or something like that, because it's still only 10%. But it'll probably give you the option to like free up some of like the supplementary stuff that you're using, or just to further improve your existing bridge officer cooldowns if you're not using any cooldown reduction methods at all currently. So it's not a bad thing. It's just 10% I don't think is going to make a big difference in the long run for a lot of the higher end players. The thing that is going to be more interesting though is the captain recharge time cooldowns. That's also going to be included with all of this, and that's going to be kind of interesting because there are very few ways to reduce the cooldowns of your captain bridge officer's abilities. Not bridge officer, your captain's special abilities. So being able to reduce those cooldowns, that's going to be kind of interesting because your captain's abilities can be pretty powerful. So I'm looking forward to seeing those getting a bit more of a reduction as we build up our Endeavor skills again. Some of the other ones I'm glad to see in the damage types are the exotic types of damage. Although I am curious, is this only going to apply to like ship weapons or ground, handheld weapons, or will this also apply to like kit modules and consoles? So is this going to be applied to all types of damage sources, or is this only going to be applying to just your actual direct weapons? That's the big question there, because if it's just your weapons, this isn't going to be nearly as good for EPG builds as I would like, because proton, psionic, cold, radiation, fire, physical, and electrical and toxic damage, those are all exotic types of damage, which are really good for EPG builds, but EPG builds usually get those types of damage from consoles or traits, not usually from their weapons. Really, the only weapon you would be reliant on for any of these damage is proton damage from the Pavo Omni Beam. That's about it. So yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see how that works out. But yeah, hopefully this will account for like Starship traits and consoles as well. Otherwise, this isn't going to be that great for EPG builds. The shield regen, the armor penetration, the armor pen's okay. The shield regeneration is just kind of It'll be useful for tank builds, but that's about it. But even then, it's still shields. So yeah, it's honestly overall, I'm pretty happy with a lot of the skills that they've added here. It's nice that they're going this route instead of just increasing the existing numbers instead. So yeah, I like what they're doing here, and I look forward to grinding these out over the next like year and a half or however long it takes. Now, in addition to this, they've also added something else with the Endeavors. They're also adding various prizes to beyond just the actual skill buffs. They're adding a new prize claim to depending on how high you've earned your Endeavor perks points. So once you've reached 450 Endeavor perks, you'll unlock a new title called Endeavor Enthusiast, which you'll be able to claim account wide. When you get to 600, you will be granted 300 Lobi. Which that's only going to be once per account, so you're not going to be able to get that multiple times on characters. It's just going to be one drop of 300 Lobi on your account. And then once you get to 750, you're going to get another title to Boldly Go. And once you hit 1250, which that's going to be the new maximum after this update, you'll get an Endeavor Vanity Shield, which you will be able to reclaim on your entire account. We also got a preview of the new Vanity Shield. Thomas Maroney has already posted on Blue Sky that the inspiration for this Vanity Shield came from the golden model of the Stargazer that sat in Picard's ready room. That one, it was just kind of like a painted gold color. But for this, Thomas wanted to go for a more metallic color. He was inspired by the Stargazer model and also the gold and silver symbols that you see in the Endeavor system menu. So he kind of settled on a Vanity Shield that was inspired by that gave sort of a gold and silver metallic look to your ship. He also posted some additional images here of the Andromeda class featuring the Vanity Shield, which I think better show off the Vanity Shield overall, so you can actually kind of see just how gold and how silver you're going to be able to get out of this thing. Then you get a little bit of purple in the Bussard and the nacelles. It looks really good. This is going to be a cool Vanity Shield. I feel like there are going to be plenty of people who are into this look. I really love like the metallic shine to it, so it actually looks like a metallic gold and silver on the ship. Yeah, this is going to be cool. Now we're not going to see it for quite a while because you have to grind up your Endeavors to 1200, so that's going to be a bit of a grind. But yeah, if you like the Vanity Shield, better get to grinding. Oh boy. Thomas also included a picture of the actual prop that sat in Picard's ready room. As you can see, it's not nearly as metallic as the actual Vanity Shield, but you can see like it's obviously very gold. See a little bit of silver around the bridge dome, which he actually recreated here on the actual in-game Stargazer. It's very gold, and then a little bit of silver around the rim, and then you can see the purple on the nacelle grills, which is accurate to the model that sat in Picard's ready room. So while all of this is really cool, the added skills to the Endeavor system, as well as the additional rewards that'll culminate in this really cool looking Vanity Shield that you get through the updated Endeavor system, I do have to point out that I feel like adding more points to the Endeavor system is kind of like a double-edged sword, especially for a lot of less experienced, more casual players. Because I feel like to a lot of more casual, more new players, that the Endeavor system already feels like this big insurmountable goal that they could just, it feels like this big unobtainable mountain that you can never possibly get to if you're only recently starting out in the game. So I feel like adding new points is nice to the Endeavor system, but without some way to increase the rate that you're building up experience for them, I feel like that's something that Star Trek Online really needs to consider. Because right now there's only one way that is that allows you to increase the XP that you earn from your Endeavor systems. It's from, I think it's from the KDF recruitment event. But yeah, it's either the KDF or the temporal one. I forget. I always forget which one. But yeah. You're only going to be able to increase your recruitment, your Endeavor expertise through that recruitment event reward, and that's it. And it's even that it's not that big of a boost overall, so it's not going to be like something that's going to be a huge game changer in the end. You're still going to be grinding this stuff for a very long time. And I get that's kind of the point of the Endeavor system. They don't want you to unlock this stuff like immediately right away. They want this to be a long thing that that takes a lot of time to build up to earn progress towards. But at the same time, it's really discouraging, I feel like, to a lot of newer and inexperienced players, or just people who are more casual at the game, that you can't even increase your progress even a little bit beyond that one recruitment award, especially considering how many other skill boosts there are in the game already available. Like there's all the various skill boosts that drop in the Infinity lock boxes. You can you get a bunch of those. They drop into the lock boxes. You can sell them on the exchange. They're very easy to obtain because they drop like crazy. They have a really big drop rate from the lock boxes, so they're not expensive on the exchange. They come in various levels too. You get a certain amount of XP, and you get a sort of an extra additional XP on top of that. And then once you've exceeded that amount, then the XP bonus expires. I feel like something like that would be really good for the Endeavors. Just like throw them in the lock boxes, and then give you a little extra XP every time you earn Endeavor XP with them. I feel like that would be something that would be good to look into. Or they could just do like what they do with the reputation system, where you can just buy out part of it, kind of like you do with the events. So it's weird that there are ways they've monetized ways to further increase your rate of XP for a bunch of other things, for the reputations, for the events, for your actual character XP. So it's weird that they haven't come up with some way to monetize further monetize the rate at which you earn Endeavor progress too. So I feel like that's a missed opportunity there, considering this is a free-to-play game that is always looking for ways to monetize without being overly intrusive. So I feel like, for the Endeavor system, I feel like that's kind of a missed opportunity there. I feel like that's something they really should look into. I'm probably going to get yelled at for saying, how dare you tell them what, to charge money for this stuff. But, if you don't want to pay money for it, then don't. You can still earn Endeavor XP for free. It's just, this will give you a way to pay a bit extra to lessen the grind a bit. And I feel, that's something that Star Trek Online offers in virtually every other aspect of the game. So why is the Endeavor system an exception there? But yeah, just my 2 cents on that. Let's move on. And the last thing to go over is the next giveaway for the giveaway countdown that they've been doing leading up to the game's next big story update. So if you go into the promotions tab of the C Store, you will find today's giveaway, which is I think it's a pair of ultimate tech upgrades. Let me see. Yep, 2 ultimate tech upgrades. So yeah, go into the C Store, go to the promotions tab, and claim those while they are available. They are only up for today and tomorrow, and then they will be disappearing. Now, of course, this is only on PC right now. Console, you guys will be getting this at a later date. There was also an announcement for this on the Star Trek Online Twitter account, and this post also kind of suggests that this is probably going to be the last update, and also suggests that tomorrow is when the next update is going to be going live too. They've just been kind of like subtly hinting at like when the next update's going to be coming out, and then just kind of like saying it in this like one obscure giveaway post, instead of just like making an official announcement of, hey, the next update's going to be coming out on June 3rd, like they used to do in the past. But I guess, things have been weird lately, and I guess this is the way that deck is going to be operating. So it seems like we can just go ahead and assume that the new update is going to be going live tomorrow on the 3rd. And given that we also know the release date for console for the Promellian Battlecruiser, it's also safe to assume that that means the story update should be going live on July 29th for console players. So yeah, that about covers everything. We got the Promellian Battlecruiser coming out tomorrow on PC to the Infinity Lockboxes. We got an update to the Endeavor system going live tomorrow. And just from the sound of it, it sounds like the new story update's going live tomorrow as well on PC. The Ultimate Tech Upgrade giveaway is live today and will be live through tomorrow, and then it will end on the morning of June 4th. And given that they also gave us the release date for the Promellian Battlecruiser on console, we can assume all the rest of this stuff is going to be coming to console on July 9th as well. So yeah, let me know what you think about all of this down below in the comments. And while you're down there, be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. If you'd like to further support the channel, hit the join button, become a member, or check out the affiliate links in the pinned comment. Or if you're ever shopping on the Epic Game Store, be sure to use my content creator code STU1701. These things really help me out, and I really do appreciate it. Either way, though, thank you so much for watching. My name's Stu, and I will see you guys next time.